No, our last performer in the open. I say performer, I said wait. Al Peterson. Let's have a hand for Al.
I'm going to do an instrumental song, and then I feel awkward about doing this, so I'm just going to dive right in it. I've got a cassette tape that I've made, and there's 6 songs on here, and I'm selling these tapes.
I do want to call your attention again, before you leave, take a peek at these photographs that are a labor of love over some number of months, over a year, by Julie Stone. And Julie is loath to come up and read. This little thing is by the door, and the Wombat brought it up and said someone should read this, and I'll be very happy to. These photographs were taken at Charlie's Tap during the weekly Monday night Stone Soup poetry readings. I want to thank the poets for sharing themselves through their writings. By expressing the special moments in their lives, their fantasies, their secrets, their grief, joy, and the courage to just put it out there, these readings have become a family ritual, a collective meditation. It is in that spirit that these photographs were made. I only hope that I've captured some of the magic between us on these evenings, some of the poet's daring, some of that inner contemplation, that struggle to communicate. Finally, I have tried to show to the movements caught by the camera the ability in all of us to regenerate. Thank you, poets. Julie Stone, February 1988. Let's have a hand for Julie Stone. I thought it was appropriate to do one poem of Rilke's, one of my favorites, and I think favorite poet of Julie's, to end this evening, called Memory. And you wait, awaiting the one to make your small life grow. The mighty, the uncommon, the awakening of stone, the depths to be opened below. Now, duskily, in the bookcase gleam the volumes in brown and gold. You remember the lands you have wandered through, the pictures and the garments of persons lost of old. And suddenly, no, it was here. You pull yourself together, and there stands an irrevocable year of anguish, vision, and prayer. Thank you all for being here. I'd like to suggest coming next week are features, and there will be several people representing the Newbury poets, including Joe Dunn, our friend tonight. Joe, thank you for being here. Ed Hurley, Ed Gandolfo, and Franco, among others. And there may be some more people coming down from Newburyport, Massachusetts. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to tip the help, and we'll look for you next week. Thanks again to Charlie's Tap for hosting us, Steve Oakley and John Clifford. And again, let's have a great hand for Julie Stone for those great photographs.
Yeah.
Did you get that one with me and Jack? That was like Anthony Marteau.
You look like Anthony Narteau anyway. No.
Usually it takes remember all the awful things that I got someplace in the
That's
hospital.
up to you, darling. I'm not coming over for business.
Oh. Yeah. You gonna get me in the video?
Haven't seen any baby pictures here.
Well, she's not even 60 yet. She's only 59.
Your mother?
Yeah.
That's
She's
about the same age my parents are.
she's got another
early
3
50s.
years, 3 years before she retires. So. My father, on the other hand, could retire tomorrow if he wanted to. But now he can't.
Why?
They just lost 40% of their net value.
Oh. I didn't have
Which
much.
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It means that 3 years ago they got a little bit over $250,000 in stocks, and in those ensuing 3 years it doubled,
And then it went.
and then it dropped back down. So instead of having $250,000, they're probably at about a third. You know,
Yeah.
dropped. It didn't drop off all the way. Stock market was under 1,000 when they got it. You know, which was only 4 years ago. You know, now it's over two. It was over 2,000. Now it's just sitting there about 18, 19. Yeah. So they don't care. It's going up. They're smiling, but they lost. You know, in one day,
Yeah.
40% of what they thought they might be worth. But that's the way stocks are. You're only worth what you paid for it,
Yeah.
unless it goes below that.
Then you're worth less.
Take more of an inheritance. I forget what it is they can take, but it's gone anyway. So I can't get any of that,
Yeah.
you know, for 20 years.
After 20 years, statute of limitations runs out.
No, after 20 years, they can go back into court again and put the claim in. So it's the statute of limitations. They call it something else, though.
So you've got to wait for them all to die off.
Well, no, they won't come back in 20 years. They know they're not going to get. They knew they weren't going to get it when they sued me, because I don't have it. They sued me before my grandmother died. So my grandmother was still alive. I got.
She wrote you out of your will, out of the will.
No, she didn't give any of the grandkids anything. She gave it all to the parents. Okay. Grandchildren are not. See, if it was my mother that it happened to, then she could not have not given her the money. Then their lawyer would have gone to court and sued for the half or third that my mother was entitled to. But grandchildren aren't entitled
To the money.
to the money
Yeah.
unless the parents are dead. So they couldn't get anything from me there, and hell, they live into their